Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's installment of Darkness over New Orleans. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure seeing you all again. All of our players are here. All of our friends are here. Now, as we do every week, we're going to start off with a quick warning. This is a dark game filled with dark themes, some horror, possible brutality happens at some points. There are mentions of blood and other things that may not be your fancy or your cup of tea. I, at this point, welcome you, if this is not be something that you like, to go to a different channel. I completely respect your decision if you don't want to stay. Once again, we're going to introduce our players, their character's name, and their clan. Going from left to right, we have Robin first.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I am Robin the God on most platforms, and I play the Nosferatu Thorn.
Next, we have Christian.
Hey everybody, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, on several socials. But tonight, I am playing Maximilian Gangrel. Me and him go by he/him pronouns.
Next, we have Kiernan. I'm sorry, Alec. Who's playing Kiernan?
Last week you called me Christian, and now I'm Kiernan. I want this vid to continue throughout the entirety of Darkness over New Orleans. I love it.
I can do that, no problem.
Hell yeah! Hi everybody, my name is Alec or Commune. My pronouns are he/him. I am playing Kiernan the Bruja. You can find me on all places at Commune DM. I do a whole lot of TTRPG content on Sundays.
Next is Thaddeus.
Hi everyone, I'm Thaddeus Atlas on all platforms, he/him, and we'll be playing Aubrey the Tremere.
And I'm your storyteller, Dylan. My pronouns are he, they. You can find me everywhere. Roll for Dylan. So, without further ado, let's sink our fangs into tonight's episode. Love that intro video. Sorry, I get really hyped when I see it. Well done, Robin. Thank you again.
Yeah, Robin, thank you. So good. So goddamn good.
Love to see it.
Gets me every time.
When last we left off, this party of kindred were all summoned to the prince's home in the French quarters of New Orleans. The prince pretty much gave a short speech of welcome and then announced that he would be having quote-unquote office hours. And due to that, he would be needing Kindred to step up to take some important tasks off of his busy schedule. He asked for any four Kindred to step forward for their first task. He said it did not have to be immediate, but it had to be by the end of the evening. He had also mentioned that his herald, Jacques, had been promoted to sheriff, after the sheriff of New Orleans had been missing for several months. As a gift to the party, not just these 4 kindred in front of you, but the entirety of the kindred community, he had welcomed 30 mortals into his home as a feast for the kindred. Our party did not partake, but were entranced in the visage of one kindred in particular, donning a red and black cloak with holes in it that seemed to be longing for something more than just feeding on the humans. A quick interaction between Thorn and the Harvester, as we now know him as. And then Thorn pledged himself, along with the other 3, to help the prince out with his task. And that's where we left off last week. We're going to jump right back into it tonight. As Prince Olivier Dubois looks at you all and gives you half a smirk, Jacques Martin, the sheriff, on his right-hand side, notebook open and writing furiously, with a cocked smile. The prince then addresses you all. I appreciate you all volunteering yourselves for this simple task. I have to have a meeting with some other kindred first, but then I will meet with all 4 of you in my quarters. Now, if you'll excuse me. Jack. And he points over at Sleepy Jack and says, I will speak with you first. And he simply glides out of the room, and you all hear his footsteps falling softly, but with authority, going up the grand staircase. The stage is yours, my players.
Quick question. We all start with 1 hunger box check, correct?
Correct. Since you guys did not feed last session, it did not get slacked, so you all still have just that 1 from last time.
Just wanted to check out.
Well,
Yep,
does
good question.
does yours? Because you drank your flask.
I drank mine, so do I still have one?
Did I not tell you to slack it last time? Yeah. So
You did. I was just double checking because I
Yeah.
thought I remembered you saying at the beginning of the session we had it.
So the way that it works is every night.
I understand.
Yeah.
This is the same night.
Same
Cool.
night, so you did not
Cool.
have to open up a new can of whoop ass.
Thank you for clarifying.
Of course.
We're just like in the lobby, just like outside the doors.
You're all in the ballroom right now. So the prince has just walked past you all. The rest of the kindred community is slowly shuffling their way back in. The gramophone has started once again.
Any of them looking at us in particular, or look in any kind of way? Or...
Sure, yeah, you get a few questionable glances, a few side eyes, several people just like staring at you, like almost threateningly, but like imposing.
anyone
look.
that gives me giving me like a threatening look, I just wink at them.
We'll say that there's at least one kindred there giving you a threatening look because you guys just volunteered within half an hour of the prince asking for volunteers. No questions asked. So yeah, you guys have kind of put a target on your back. So there's at least 1 or 2 people giving you guys a threatening look.
Is the person giving me a threatening look just Thorn? And if so, can I also wink?
Relentless.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it to Thorn, but Christian. So yes, you see one person, one of the kindred, definitely giving you like they're puffing their chest out a bit, straightening their back and whatnot, trying to stand a little taller, not matching your height.
I think just at that response, like I'm sure everyone else, like the people around me, feel it. My fellow new heralds feel it. It's just that shift in the air of, if you want to try some shit, feel free. Just know I'm ready. And it's like almost like a shift from the friendliness of it all of him this entire night. Just like, please try.
Is there, since the whole vampire community is here, do I see any Nosferatu?
Yeah. You see a few of them. You also definitely see Cameron.
Thorn will shove past Aubrey in a flurry down the stairs with his robes sort of tattered robes floating kind of behind him, and he's going to go up to Cameron. Cameron?
Yes, Thorn.
It seems that I will, for the time being, no longer be of use to you until all this is over.
It'll never be over now. You've set your foot upon a path that is in a direction that I won't be following. So please, enjoy this new venture that you're heading down.
And your protections?
My protections. They don't help you with the prince or our new sheriff, of course. That, my friend, is a much higher league than I want to even bother stepping foot in.
I had to do it. He was humiliating me in front of the entire court. I had to. And what better way to hide than in plain sight? And if I'm a herald, just think of it. Think of it. Not even my maker could have power over me. Possibly. I don't know. I think I've gone too far into this.
I completely agree. You definitely have gone too far into this. He didn't say he would make everyone here a herald. He said you would be acting as if a herald. Words have meaning, Thorn. You need to calm yourself and listen.
Should I ask advice, or is that... Do I have to pay a toll?
Yes.
Shall I pay you a toll? Play you a song, do a dance?
As I said, you're in a league far out of my own now. I don't know what aid I can provide to you, and quite honestly, I don't want to be here any longer than I need to be. I'm missing valuable information coming through my sewers.
What information?
I don't know. I'm here, Thorn. I'm not there to receive them.
Fair point.
Well, but I'm invaluable to you. You know what I am.
He comes up close
If
to
you
you,
could...
cheek to cheek, and then says, "Everything and everyone is expendable, even myself. You knew what this was from the moment that we met. I bid you a good evening, Thorn. You're always welcome in the sewers, where you belong." And he starts to head off to collect the other Nosferatu, and they all head out. They leave the mansion.
And Thorn watches them leave with a sense of longing and a little self-hatred.
Adding to that uncomfortability, I make my way over. And I'm like, incredibly popular. You seem to know so many people. So many fancy people.
Thorn turns to Aubrey. And you'd know all about popularity, wouldn't you, poster boy?
Well, you didn't have time to introduce me, so I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. Because now you are one of us.
Plenty of
Your
time.
name is no longer in the big shining lights. You're no longer important. And if you dare show your face in public and break the masquerade, you will die. How does that feel? You're
Died
nothing now.
Time ago. I've been dying ever since then.
Cheeky little thing. and he pinches Aubrey's cheek.
Oh, that did it.
Now you were saying about how you wanted to get out of here.
Well, we can't. Why you chose to expend yourself upon this mission, why did you do it?
That's right, you never asked.
Well,
Oh, you were actually interested in something about me instead of just yelling at me. So peculiar. Information is power, but you know nothing about me. Save for your projections.
my projections.
Oh.
It's okay, I like you all the same.
How old are you, boy?
Oh, information is power. Old enough to know better, foolish enough to make a few mistakes.
That bright, shining little face. I cannot wait to see the light go from those eyes and the smile crumple
So,
to nothing but a hollow shell like the rest of us.
you think my face is shiny? It's not too shiny, is it? So
You're the-
we're looking for a sheriff? Do you want to lead or should I? I'm new to the city, you lead.
You shouldn't have been a part of this in the first place.
It's a little late for that. Let's make a few more mistakes before the night's over.
What exactly does that mean?
I led you in the dance floor. I'm not going to lead you in this endeavor. How about I follow your lead?
Just for a moment. Just shh. And walks past him.
Coming, and I follow behind.
I just had a picture of you saying, coming, and you're just like prancing behind, following. On my way, Thorn!
On my
Other
way.
vampires, as we're leaving, I'm going, we're leaving. We have better things to do. We're quite busy, heralds and all.
So you're just saying this to Kindred as you're walking past?
I'm saying it casually, like, under my breath more than directly to anyone.
Can you
Like
please
in a-
roll charisma
Oh, yeah.
and let's see, what are we gonna make that with? We're gonna
What
mix
a
that
chaotic individual.
with...
Oh,
Aubrey's a
boy.
little
Am
monster.
I the drama?
Am I the
Am
drama?
I the drama?
Me?
Oh,
Give me
poor Thorn.
charisma and
Save me.
streetwise, please.
Christian, you got me back for earlier. Damn it.
And then I'm gonna roll.
Failure and 5 successes. No,
Ooh.
2 failures, 5 successes.
Okay. Okay. So as you're saying this, the kindred that you're walking past and just nonchalantly addressing them with this banter, they just sneer at you. Some of them chuckle, others just give you a very deadpan look, and they just follow you with their head turning slowly. Nobody in the community gives way for you guys. You need to push and shove and make space for yourselves to get through, though. While that's happening, what is happening with Maximilian and Kieran?
I think Kieran's gonna make his way over to Max. Is it physically apparent that Max is just kind of like giving the fuck around and find out? Look?
It's like he's got both his hands in his pockets, and he's just like, because where are we in relative to the whole ballroom? Like it's
You guys
know,
were, so if you were in front of the prince's throne, which
Yeah.
is all the way to the front.
yeah.
And
Okay.
the entrance to the ballroom is all the way in the back. So
Gotcha.
you've got to make a good distance. And remember, this space held at least 150 kindred.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it is a good enough sized room.
Yeah, I think it's like he's just turned towards the entire crowd. at this point,
Hmm.
and he's just got his hands in his pockets, and he's just like look, not not
Just
looking
the
down.
fighter's evaluation.
Yeah, just a fighter's evaluation, not looking down on them, but like just looking to see if
Yeah.
there are challenges.
We'll just make
Give
his way up.
me a
Ooh.
resolve and awareness, please.
Ooh. One moment, please. Resolve and awareness?
Yes, please.
Let's see. Awareness. 2 black, 1 red. Oh, that's a messy critical of 2 successes.
All right, excellent. Yeah. So
3, rather.
you're looking at everyone, and you're specifically pointing out with your eyes the ones who are giving you a bit of a puff.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that they're hesitant, even though they are macho manning it up right now. They're definitely holding back. They know that there is a very thin line of rules that you should never cross, specifically within the home of the prince.
Right.
However, the look they're giving you definitely shows that they are marking your face in their memory.
Mm-hmm. I think knowing that he's being marked from being remembered, he like
Get my good side.
Mhm.
You see one of them just going, just nodding. The other one just squints and then just turns away.
Hey, Max. Kieran just kind of making his way up.
And I think as Kiernan walks up, I think that fight aura fades. And it's just like, hey, you doing better?
No. I mean, well, I'm not as bitey, but
Got a little.
thank you. Are you in the mood for a bit of an existential question?
I mean,
No,
sure,
it's
why?
fine.
No, why no, why not? No, well, I'll try my best. I gave him my best shot.
So I'm outside.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it. Why the fuck did I get mad about all those people dying after they were already dead? Why? It's apparent I want to care. You've been around a little longer than I have. I don't know if
I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please.
No. Keep on going. I thought you were done. Excuse me.
No. You're fine. I'm not necessarily sure if I want that to continue, Max.
Well, you're uncomfortable. I mean, in the fashion and which they were ended, wasn't exactly humane.
No, they were slaughtered, Max.
I think Max just like stands there for a moment, really thinking about the answer, until he finally just says, "Watching people die never gets easy. Drinking from people never gets easy. At least not for me. People say, oh, it's that last shred of humanity. You're snuffing out another life. We're watching life be snuffed out. Easily at that. It's rough. It's hard."
Kind of leans in. I went outside, and intentionally being fairly quiet. I got this phone, and you know, I put my parents' information in there.
I think Max's face doesn't change as he's like still looking out at the crowd as they're building out and billowing. Gotta be real careful with that kind of stuff.
You know, they think their son is dead, and after tonight, maybe he is.
Real quick, both Max and Kieran, what is your humanity?
That's a really good question, Doc.
Bottom right of the first page of the character sheet.
Oh, 7.
2, 3, 6.
Okay, all right, perfect. Right now, as you are both having this discussion, in the back of your minds, you are both reflecting on your previous life. Though you've only been changed for 5 to 10 years, it seems like ages ago for you when you last felt the sun on your skin, last time you got to enjoy a day, the last time you got to embrace a family member. And the pain trickles through you. This pain then speaks to you in the form of your beast. Individually, both of your beasts have different personas, have different mannerisms, have different callings. But in the end of the day, the beast is always the beast. And the beast wants what the beast wants. Your pain of your old life is feeding into it. And you feel that sharp, growling sensation from deep within you start to awaken. Just a hint. We're going to pause on you two and head back over to Thorn and Aubrey.
Thorn sees that nobody is parting for them, that there are some menacing looks, but they're being noted inside of other vampires' heads. And so I would like to cast Eyes of the Beast. This is no roll required as long as desired for duration. The cost is free, and it gives a supernatural vampiric gleam to one's eyes. Feral.
Right. Yes.
Roll.
Yep, okay.
And feral weapons to elongate my fangs, and his nails sort of
come out a bit.
Elongate even further.
Okay.
His before I roll that, his he has an unusual amount of grace for Nosferatu, and a quiet presence of confidence. And he's not looking at anybody. He just has his head held very high, and his posture is just perfect as he's elegantly walking through them. So for the feral weapons, it's 1 rouse check, and it's for 1 scene. So blank.
Okay, so that's a failure. Okay. So you get a little bit hungrier. As you grow your fangs and your nails elongate, you feel the hunger take a little bit of a stronger hold on you. But you have successfully changed your visage a little bit. As you're doing this, a large majority of the kindred that you are walking past start chuckling at you, and then they completely turn their shoulder at you. You are no longer of interest to them. Save for 1. there is a very small kindred that walks up to you. He looks at you, and he's just short, just a little shy of taller than your knee. And he says, "Whatever you're doing, I wouldn't do that. Calm yourself. Take a walk if you have to. Don't let them get the better of you. I've had my fair share throughout the years of their intimidations, their mockery. But please, don't let it bother you. It just makes things worse. It'll give them more power."
I'll heed your advice, Mr.
Jeffrey, and he reaches up.
Jeffrey. Thorn.
"So I've heard, Thorn."
And he walks past him, and we'll go outside for just a moment
Okay.
to take a breath in.
Using like Thorn's scary dog privilege, and I'm following behind him as the crowd kind of parts around. I give a smile to the young Master Jeffrey as I make my way outside. When Thorn is outside and I'm outside with them, is anyone else kind of in a peripheral? Is everybody else not around anymore?
Outside, there are several other people. Are you trying to actually physically look at them? Or are you trying to get a handle on this as to who they are, or?
Trying to see how private the conversation that Thorn and I are having, if we were going to have one at all.
That all depends on how loud this conversation is going to be. There are 4 people outside stationed strategically in certain locations, within
what's
earshot.
The closest person to us?
The
Like
closest
5
person
feet?
is about 10 feet away.
Okay.
2 of
Is
them
there-
10 feet in front of you.
Is there any hope of us getting out of earshot of anyone?
Yes.
I do my best to like follow Thorn, and Thorn, if you're going to make a chance to take a stop, my hand's gonna like gently like grip yours and kind of not with authority but with like a pleading look, try to draw you away from everyone. If I
What-
could have but a moment. I'm sure
What
you can
are you
appreciate prying
doing?
eyes are not something any of us would like.
What is this fascination you have? Lead the way.
Taking Thorn as far away as I can get from other people, the pleasurable accent starts to disappear. I lean against a wall, pull a pack of cigarettes from my pocket, gun alight, flick the lighter a few times, look up at Thorn, flick the lighter a few more times, finally get a spark, take a soft drag and look at them and go, Thorn, you hate me. You don't even know me.
I don't hate anyone.
For a second realize that not everything anybody does is about you.
I beg
You're
your
not-
pardon.
You're in Nosferatu, right? Privy to a lot of information. I'm sorry if my affectation was something you didn't really appreciate, but I could use you.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
I could
Of course you
use your-
can, Aubrey. And he steps closer to place a hand on the wall and to sort of look down at him. Of course you can use me. That's what you want, isn't it?
He, rolling his eyes and playing with his accent one more time, he goes, "It's not like you won't enjoy it."
I very much doubt I would enjoy anything you'd have to offer me. And you should really stop smoking those. They'll kill you. And he just takes the butt out of his mouth and tears it up. Drugs are not something to play with, even as a vampire. And it does nothing for you. Yes, I know it does nothing for you. But it's unbecoming, and it's filthy. It's a filthy habit.
You're right. I really should stop.
He's a good boy.
More interested in what you could do for me anyways. But of course, not without return.
Will return. I shall have. Now, what do you want from me? Information? My body?
Let's
You seem so
worry
interested in that.
more about how we can get you out of this whole Herald business. And then we'll talk about how you can repay me.
I like this Herald business. It
Oh,
puts me
dude.
right where I want to be.
I could tell by the smile on your face when you offered yourself up. That didn't seem like you at all. You seemed more hard to get. I like that about you. I like how hard to get you are. I want to get you. Understand you. Pardon my vernacular. I want to understand you.
You sound like a little toreador, not a Tremere. A little collector. I'm a collector of sorts too. What a coincidence. I collect all kinds of things. Perhaps I might collect something from you.
So you're saying
You
I have something you want?
Oh, you said you offered yourself. You said you wanted to get under my skin, didn't you?
Are you saying I've accomplished that so soon? The night's still young and we have so much to do. We have a sheriff to find, we have your heralding to get a part of. Let's worry about getting me to where I need to go. And I do want to go there. At the end. Let's take care of you first.
You are going to regret everything, and I'm going to enjoy watching it. You pretty little thing, aren't you? You just the most darling thing.
Something
Most
about the way
darling
you
thing.
compliment me brings the blush back into these dead cheeks.
I know that trick. Come, I think I've had enough fresh air out here. You are far more enjoyable without that little pretense you put on.
Lead the way.
And he goes back inside. I do not feel better.
So, while you two were outside having this discussion, Jeffrey makes his way over to the other two Kindred, Maximilian and Kiernan.
Oh my.
He just walks up, his hands behind his back, just looks at both of you a little confused, and goes, I can understand the Nosferatu, but why you two? Why would you offer your services and yourself to the prince so willingly, so quickly?
Well, is it rude to say boredom?
Say again?
I was bored and signing up seemed like it could bring me some fun.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I cannot understand it, but I can see
Oh.
it.
Well, there's that. That's good.
Yes, there's a veil between the two, and I seem
Mhm.
to be stuck between. And for you,
Well, maybe I can ask a favor when I'm done.
of the prince.
Ask a question,
Oh.
ideally.
Oh,
Whether it's the prince or somebody else. And plus, Max is going. I like Max.
Oh, thanks, man. I like you too.
all right, gentlemen. Well,
And you are?
my name is Jeffrey. And he reaches up to shake both of your hands.
Shakes.
Shakes.
Who do you know here?
Oh,
He is just genuinely asking.
I know almost everyone here. If not on good terms, I know them on bad terms as well.
Do you know us on bad terms?
I don't know you on bad terms as of yet.
How about Angelo?
Angelo on very good terms.
Oh, it's good. Then we're on good terms. It's fine.
You know Imogen Cole?
Imogen Cole. Just a moment, and he pulls out his cell phone and starts rolling through his contact list. Imogen. Imogen.
Correct.
Last name Cole.
Yes.
Not a clue who that is.
Time out. What do you mean by that? The way you spelled it makes me... All right.
I like to know how things are spelled out. It was phonetical, if it was a different way.
Sure.
Information like that. I mean, I hear things. I might.
Would I have been able to try and steal a glance as he was looking?
Sure. Yeah.
Is Alec asking?
Yeah. I mean, you are towering over him, so you can definitely.
I'm 6'6" and a big bitch.
That's
There
right.
it is. Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt, baby.
He's
All right.
he's less than 4 feet, so.
Okay, what do you want me to roll?
That would be Give me Yeah, let's do that. Let's do intelligence and insight.
Intelligence and insight. Insight. Oh, my insight's really good. What the fuck? Okay, these are all black dice. These are not. I don't have any hungry dice. This is 5. Ooh! 2 critical successes, 2 successes, and failure.
Okay, so you definitely see he doesn't have it up here, like he's not like holding it to a space where he's trying to hide it. Like it's down here at a flat level, and he's scrolling through. So you're seeing everything, and you're very intently watching as he's going through the eyes. And there is no name Imogen Cole.
Okay. So I think he deflates. I think that there's, given what he's experienced throughout the night, this like distrusting, a vibe. But if he doesn't see it, then he kind of deflates a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Now,
thank you.
As I was saying, I may not know who they are, but I like to know how to spell it because through my business, I hear many things. I might be able to help you find them. If they're looking for someone, of course. If you are in fact looking for this Imogen Cole, I might be able to help you find them. Only if you wish to find them.
Keep that in mind if I hit dead ends.
New Orleans is full of dead ends. Not sure if you're aware of that, not sure how long you've lived here, but...
Long time.
Very interesting indeed. And do you need anyone to be found?
No, I know where all my people are. So if you need bodyguard services for your private investigation work, it seems like.
No, I run a tea shop.
Oh, well, if you need bodyguards for a tea shop, then
Incredible.
by all means, I'm sure Angelo could hook you up with the know-how knowledge. Or I could, depending on your flavor.
My flavor? Are you asking my favorite type of tea, or is this something else entirely?
No. What is your favorite type of tea? Now you've got my curiosity. Now, what is your favorite type of tea?
Chamomile. Sorry, not me.
That's a good one.
Back when I was alive, I used to love a good jasmine tea.
That's a good choice.
That's a good choice. Solid.
Very good choice.
Well,
I'm a Earl Grey man myself, but I was.
Understood. Well, gentlemen, here's my card. And he gets 2 cards and hands them over to the both of you. If you ever need tea, come to my shop.
Of course.
Thanks, Jeff. Is Jeff okay? Can I call you Jeff?
No, it's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey it is.
Apologies.
That's good. It's
Quite
good
all
to
right.
know these things early.
As I needed to know how to spell Imogen, you need to know how to say my name.
No, and I respect that. That's why I asked.
It's okay.
Very
too.
good.
We're all friends here. Like
I just wanted to make sure.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
It seems that your other friends have just entered the ballroom again. I'll leave you to it. You're probably going to be having an interesting evening.
Ugh.
Noted. Hey, guys!
And Jeffrey
Um,
heads off over towards the gramophone.
Put the card away.
Yeah,
What's
Yeah.
playing on the gramophone?
1800s classical.
Keeping with the times around here.
Yep.
So, why have
babe.
you decided to foolishly offer yourselves?
We just had this conversation.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Max is bored. I like Max, and also maybe hoping to get a favor, if at all possible.
Oh, what sort of favor?
I don't like the way you smile at me, Thorn.
I know. My
Oh.
smile is so off-putting here. Is that better?
I could stand in front of him and you could smile at him. Just go on. You were saying a favor.
Is that
So-
cashmere? Or is it
It's-
like a...
No, that's latex, bud.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just looking for somebody, but I'd rather not talk about it in a room full of prying predators. Not yourselves.
How was y'all two's talk?
Yeah, what he said.
What did you guys talk about?
Getting some air, you know how that is.
He wanted to get laid by a nasty Nosferatu, and he was smoking.
I want what every young man in
Ooh,
this city
smoking.
wants.
To fucking Nosferatu?
Is monster fucking not in? I have not been using the internet properly.
I went to art school. Monster fucking is in.
Okay, so I'm not.
Does that have to be delineation?
Missing out on American culture is part of it.
Do you have to go to art school to be into monster fucking?
No,
I
I just
didn't go to
saw.
art school at all.
I just
Oh,
saw
okay.
a lot of it.
Got you. Oh, but he wants to fuck. I got that he wants to fuck. you.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was,
yeah.
That's like. I got that.
Was I being obvious?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm very
Relentlessly so.
straightforward. It's just
Yeah.
a thing.
So how are you?
And-
Sorry, Thorn.
Yes,
Please go.
no,
No,
no.
go ahead. Go ahead. You
I-
started talking first.
No, I was just going to comment that I look like a walking syphilis.
A walking. Wow, that's a. Damn.
Don't talk
It is
about
the,
yourself like
it is
that.
the hottest of the STDs, so I'm
Okay.
I
not
think
at all
that's actually
persuaded.
that actually gets both get a genuine laugh from Max.
Just the okay.
Just okay.
Okay. So
But I'm sure you had to get some air after that display.
Which all the dead people or the prince
No,
thing, or
the well that too, yes, but
the dancing.
no, not that. The walking up, being the first to volunteer, really. That was bold. That was impressive. Weird, impressive.
It wasn't my intention
Hmm.
to volunteer, but once he
Hmm.
started making a mockery of me in
Hmm.
court, that is very, very naughty.
Hmm.
But
You'll get-
suffice it to say that I am still not respected, and that's fine by me.
Well, fuck those who don't respect you. You know?
that's what I'm saying.
You fuck them, especially like later.
Not
Figuratively.
all the-
Figuratively.
what do we-
Figuratively.
Fuck.
You all hear the familiar
putting on
sound of steel-toed footfall coming back into the ballroom. As Jacques, the sheriff, then says, "All right, you 4 volunteers, the prince will see you now. This way."
Sweet.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jacques.
He just gives you a curt little nod and turns back towards the stairwell.
Kiernan fights the urge to curtsy.
Does he,
No.
is he following us or is he staying?
He's leading us.
He's leading
he
you
leading-
guys, yeah.
Oh, he's leading. He's
He's
leading.
leading us.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool, 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 cool,
Yeah.
cool.
You guys make your way up the stairs. It is a very grand staircase, having 2 entrances on either side of the main foyer. The handrail is a very hard, dark oak with a sculpted lion's head at the very base, and scales going up. Alongside the walls are different hand-painted portraits of the prince at different times of his life and different times of his unlife. His image stays the same, though the decorations and time period all change around him. Jacques leads you through several corridors and down a very long, elaborate hallway that has long, draping velvet curtains just hanging from different lanyards on the ceiling and attached by wall attachments on the sides. He stands in front of a very large decorative door and just smiles at you slyly. The door itself is extremely foreboding. It is dark wood, and on its surface is carved half the face of a vampire. Its fangs run down as knots groove with the direction the fangs are going. The eyes are sunken, but they look like they hold stories. The rest of the door you can see are scenes of anguish, people being harmed. The size of the half-kindred face takes up the majority of the door frame, while the other unsavory aspects of it are slightly smaller. A few moments later, the door opens up, and Jack comes out, looking, if possible, paler than normal. Kieran, he walks right past you, not even acknowledging your presence.
Hey, Jack. Jack, you good?
He turns to you, and he just very slowly and a slight shake of his head, and then he continues his way back down the stairs. Jacques then says, "The prince will see you now," as he opens the door wide for you all to enter.
I think Max will go in first, but before he does that, he walks up to Jacques and like almost to like a whispering distance, and he just goes like, "Hey, I'm gonna need to talk to you after this about something I saw when you came to my establishment of business. I'm not sure if you're aware of. Curiosity mostly for me, if you did."
I will set some time aside for you. The prince and I do need to speak of many urgent matters, but I will certainly find you at the end of the evening.
I just thought I'd let you know. And he walks in.
You all make your way into the very grand, very opulent room of the prince's office. Almost every shade of dark gray and black covers every inch of the room. The furniture, all dark leather. The desk that he's sitting in front of, dark oak. The fire mantle, obsidian. The velvet curtains from ceiling to floor, black. The carpet, a mix between dark eggplant purple and reds. The prince is sitting behind the desk, making small notes with a very straight back, not acknowledging your entrance, taking a moment to sip from his goblet, placing it gently to his side. and then runs his hands past his forehead, through his waxed hair, smiles, crosses his fingers between themselves, and looks at you all. Ah, please, make yourselves comfortable. Find a seat, anywhere you prefer.
Someone will bow and then take a seat near possibly a more shadowy, secluded part of the office, the room, and just sit in the corner.
It all kind of looks like stuff that is too expensive for me to sit on. So I get as close to an area where you're supposed to sit and stand beside it.
Okay, you stand beside a chair.
If there's a couch around, Max would just like find a place and then like just like sit in it and like put his arm on the armrest and just like do this, sit like this.
There's one of those Victorian lounging benches that have like that little raised up back on one side and tapers down at the other with that spherical pillow on the chase. So yeah, you can.
I think he sits on that, and like I'm sure like makes some noises because it's like leather, I'm guessing, and he just like. It like creaks and he's like, okay.
Kieran will just move up and sit disrespectfully. I don't know how you sit disrespectfully, but that is what he's gonna do.
Like,
he's gonna sit.
like
yeah, absolutely. Just like prop his leg up. Yeah.
Yeah, you find a chair, turn it around, sit that way.
Prop your foot up. Where are you sitting in?
On his knee.
Are you okay? Okay.
Yeah, just on his knee.
Okay. All right.
On the prince's desk.
Oh no.
That's what I thought you were trying to do. Okay.
No.
I don't want it to end session 2.
The joke is that I'm gonna die in session 3, so I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that happens.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
I can make that happen if you like. So, you all sit and stand in place, and the prince then proceeds. First, I would like to thank you all for volunteering for the first of many tasks that I will be presenting to the community. I appreciate you taking this opportunity, as I have done this one task countless times before. I tire of it now. It is a simple task, easy enough. You go in, you go out. No harm, no foul. Now, we all know that the mortals love their swamp fest. Yeah?
Yeah.
2 nights time from now, we have swamp fest. The mortals will be everywhere. The 30 that we had, you did not partake. The 30 the other kindred enjoyed will not be missed. They were deplorables, unwanted, cast out by society. You think I will bring in someone of note to be fed upon?
I think it's taking some manner of restraint where Aubrey is now pinning his fingers behind his back into the palm of his hand, digging in as deep as he can, as he's like unwanted, untouchable.
Someone as experienced as you? Of course not. No.
Very wise.
In this line of work, you must be wise. How do you think I have survived for 300 years? Always one step ahead of everyone else.
And I think there's also something to be said for those you surround yourself with.
As you say that, you hear the door behind you slowly close, and the sheriff stands at the door, in between the door frame, no longer holding a notebook, no longer holding his walking stick. His hands are holding the side of his jacket, and he's looking slightly downward and very sternly straight ahead. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, I'm sure you have questions. Hmm?
Yes.
I will grant you each one question to be answered. However, make sure it is appropriate. If I am unpleased with your question, you will get worse than no answer.
Oh, great, now I'm gonna die.
I never said that. Would you like this to be your last moments? Jacques can provide that.
Thought I was on mute. Ill-timed joke, sir.
I would request you refrain your ill-timed jokes going forward. Remember who you sit in front. Now, who has questions?
You wish for your previous sheriff to be found, but only allow us one question. There's many that I have. People who perhaps were enemies of your past sheriff. Where he was last seen. Who he could have angered. Who might be plotting against you. To get to a sheriff, he's your right hand. That's a slight against you. Against the whole of the... Are we in the Camarilla?
Yeah.
Is this the camera? The Camarilla. It's an attack upon us, not just yourself, but the whole. One question does not seem to be enough.
Are you saying that my gift of a question is not enough for you?
It served you
Am
properly.
I stop talking? Am I not being generous enough to all of you? Am I being unhospitable, welcoming you into my home, offering you all fresh blood, which you all denied, an opportunity to work with me, and I give you a question. Now please, Thorn, choose your words carefully.
As you say, Prince Dubois, you are most generous, and no one here could attest otherwise. To probably serve you, and by extension the Camarilla, under your rule. Perhaps a dossier or something may be provided to us to better serve you.
A dossier on
Your missing sheriff.
That
of
is
course.
not what I have you here for. The sheriff has been missing for several months. I had my best people on the investigation. He has not turned up. I suspect he has fled, which is why I have promoted Jacques to sheriff. I do not concern myself with Derek anymore. Now, who else has a question?
I think the whole theatrics of the theatrics and the threads. I think Max has just gone from like sitting like casually to like sitting up, hands in his lap, leaning forward. There are some rumors going around that there might be wolves on the outskirts. That have anything to do with what we're doing tonight for you?
You are quite correct. You are here. You volunteered. This first task is to meet with the terrible mongrels that live in the bayou.
We just talking? I'm sorry, that was a question. Apologies.
My prince, would you have us just speak with them, or would you prefer for us to treat with them?
He starts to slowly change his position in his chair, puts one forearm on the table and leans forward, tapping his finger on the desk. How do you two know? Who have you been talking to? How is it you come into my home and know my dealings before we even speak?
Just astute observation, sir.
Astute observation.
All the better to serve you with.
So says the boy on the billboard. And you, the boxer, who told you about the wolves?
Out of character. That was my conversation with Angelo, correct?
Excuse me?
That was my conversation with Angelo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. From my side, Angelo, Diamato. I'm sure you know him.
I know Angelo. I've known Angelo for many moons now. And do you know how Angelo knows about the Garou?
No, but I trust him. Before these streets were before my boys were my boys, they were his.
And you, looking over at Kieran, what do you know?
Whole lot of nothing. In regards to this situation, not a lot.
Then what is your question? Because your three counterparts have already asked theirs, and we're going to get into that much more in depth in just a moment. But I need to know, what is your question?
Who was the last person to see them? The prior.
The sheriff, the prior sheriff Derek?
Correct.
I had asked him to go handle the situation over by, where was it? The Groulon sisters.
Come on, sisters. So they would have been the last to see him. If he made it there.
I suspect I
Sorry.
have not spoken with them.
Okay, well, there's my question.
I have not a question, but a request, if I may.
And he leans back in his seat a bit. You have a request. Ah, bon. Please. Request.
Garou, considered the nightmare for our kind, the boogeyman under the bed. I am the boogeyman for mortals, but they are the boogeyman for Kindred. I'd request that we'd have weapons or some sort to protect ourselves against a request.
You do not need weapons. That would be completely counterproductive for what you are doing. Now, Jacques, if you will please. We're going to take a 15-minute break, everybody.
Heyo, break time.
Break, 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 break.
So,
Break.
please stick around if you are wanting to know what they're about to do. We'll see you in 15, my friend. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, welcome to the game. You missed quite a beginning part of the episode. All right, everyone. The prince has just asked Jacques to come over and speak with you all. Sorry. I had to turn off the space heater. It's getting a little too loud. So, the prince asks Jacques to move forward. Jacques then walks straight down, past you all, to the desk, pushes down on a piece of the corner, which opens up a small compartment on the side of the desk. Reaching in, he pulls out a very old, very tattered map. He looks at you all, judging, squinting his eyes at you, deciding. Then he walks over to Max and hands him the map.
A good choice.
Then he returns back to the door and awaits his next orders. The prince then speaks once more. What Jacques has just given you is the location of where you will meet the mongrels. On the outskirts of the bayou, outside of the city limits. This is the reason for this meeting. Every year, during Swampfest, we meet with the wolves to continue our pact and our understanding. They get the wilds and we get the cities. We will not encroach upon their territory, and they, in turn, will not enter ours. This meeting in 2 nights' time is just that. You will meet with them. You will confirm the locations that we are to stay to. You will confirm that the beasts will stay where they belong, in the swamp, in the woods, away from civilized society. No one, and I mean no one, will harm you, and you will not harm them. If a drop of kindred blood touches the ground, we go to war. If a drop of wolf blood touches the floor, they go to war. We may have the numbers, but they have the strength. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Very good. He looks over at Thorn. You look like you have something to say. Out with it.
I have fought these mangy, disgusting creatures before. In all the time that you have served as prince, have any of them dared to strike any of us during this political mission?
Back in the early days of my rule here in New Orleans, the forming of the treaty, those were dark times for both Kindred and Wolf alike. It has been a good long while since any bloodshed has happened. So long as you, I hate to say this, as you give them respect, they will respect you back.
And this is just Garou, not black spirals or any of their little abominations.
I would never have dealings with black spirals. Absolutely no. Absolutement no. How do you know about the black spiral dancers? Jacques? And Jacques then makes his way over to Thorn's side.
And Thorn stares up at Jacques before turning back to the prince. Before I settled here, I met quite a few of them. Fought them and killed them.
I think that you and I need to have a private moment then, if you survive the black spiral dancers.
As you say, my prince.
Jacques, venez-moi. Jacques brushes right past Thorn, comes over to the prince's side, takes a knee, and brings his head closer to the prince as they both whisper in French to one another. Does anyone here speak French? Okay.
No more than a few casual words.
Okay.
Probably Creole, mostly from Max.
I know how to order in French.
Alec knows a little bit of French, but I don't think that translates. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. Just given his upbringing, he might, but I'll just say no.
Okay.
Okay, you meant our characters.
Yes, the characters. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thorn has definitely been to France quite a few times.
Okay. Give me a intelligence and
I'm feeling
where'd it go?
On brand.
Intelligence.
intelligent. Mhm.
Intelligence and insight, please.
Insight. Okay.
There used to be a linguistics dot, but that is no longer there.
I got 3. Let's see where we going.
Do you have your hunger die in there?
Oh, and my hunger die, and I got 2 hunger die now.
Yes, you
So-
do. So that's only
Alright.
1 black die, 2 hunger die then.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. I have 1 like super success, like one of those
Yep,
guys,
a
right?
critical success.
Critical success, 2 regular successes,
Okay.
a fail for blank red die, and a little hunger man. One of the little hunger dice.
No, so
Ooh.
that the Ankh
That's a
on-
critical.
With
that's
the-
a critical
with-
success. That's the critical success in there. If you got the skull,
With the 2
if you got the
fangs?
skull on this, that's the bestial failure.
Okay.
Okay.
So you rocked that essentially.
Yeah.
So you beat the dog shit out of that roll.
All right. So your
Those werewolves.
Got one thing right. Okay.
you pick up a few words that they are saying, and you hear the prince say, "This one needs to be looked after. I want you to make sure that the shadows keep a close eye on him." And Jacques responds, "They already have been."
Thorn gives no expression away on his face, but he sinks a little deeper into his chair.
Okay. Now, you have 2 days' time before you meet the wolves. I would offer you the hospitality of my home, but it seems it will be squandered on you. So, the evening is yours.
Thank you. So we're meeting them. Max, you have the map. And we're just defining boundaries here, Prince. Is that correct?
That is correct. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. Thank you for your time and your hospitality.
Thank
Stands
you
and bows
for-
again.
Thank you for your volunteering. The 4 of you.
I'm sure me and my companions meant nothing by not partaking in what you offered today. We were just observing the French custom of never drinking until everyone else's glass is full. You know, you don't pour a glass for yourself until the host's glass is full. So we just, wanted to make sure that everybody else was taken care of before we did. We observe French customs.
You observe French customs.
Oh, yes.
I just ate before I got here, so that was rude of me. I apologize.
Well, we will see how your customs translate in your actions. And he waves you all off as he turns his chair to look at his bookshelves and slowly stands up, reaching for one. The door closes behind you all.
Going home.
I was gonna say maybe we go to a bar, get a drink, talk about this a little bit. My studio's pretty spacious. If we wanted.
I mean, I'm down.
Okay.
Perhaps a little. But then I have to go home. Straight away.
Okay. I'm not asking you to crash the night. I'm just, it'd be good to talk in a place that's a little more private and comfortable. So
I think as Thorn looks like perturbed or that's uncomfortable. I think Max just like reaches like an arm over him and pulls him in. It's like it's good that you're opening up. I appreciate that.
Crunch.
crunch.
Should I? Was that a good crunch or a bad crunch? Do I need to like lessen up?
No.
Do you need a
no.
chiropractor?
It's fine. You're extremely strong.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
He is.
Thank you. Oh, you look uncomfortable. I apologize. And just like the fact that you're coming means a lot.
Yeah. Let's go get private and comfortable.
Not, God,
Not that way. Not that way. Not. Kieran starts walking.
just come
Right.
on.
Yes, I'd very much like to see your entree of choice for this evening.
All right.
Lead the way.
How are you getting to your studio?
Uber. He's getting an Uber XL.
I have a car. I have a car.
Oh. Well then. Also in the front. Okay. Yeah, I can just show you the way.
Gentlemen, I am a walking masquerade breach.
Well,
So if you don't mind, if anyone asks, I am getting over COVID.
Hey,
I have
whatever.
eczema, all right?
I was gonna say like eczema or some sort of like.
Hey, eczema's serious business.
It's treacherous. Yeah.
It's the worst chicken pox.
Dry skin's a bitch.
Hell yeah.
Well, Max, you got a car?
Yeah.
Can we take your car? I can
Yeah, sure.
just spot you some cash for gas.
That's all good.
I'm just,
Yeah, you're paying me with drinks. It's fine.
Thorn
Like
gives a genuine laugh for the first time since they've all met them.
Aww.
Vampires spotting each other for gas.
Just want to be polite. I don't know. What the fuck?
I appreciate it.
That Aubrey definitely downplays the fact that he has a driver because, some level of celebrity. So he just like is texting the driver like, "No, I'm good."
Never
It's like,
mind. I'm fine.
Are you sir? He's like, "No,
Pull
I'm
out
totally
pull out the
fine."
driveway. Go, get out of here. Go.
Like,
Go.
Like, yeah, gas. I got you. Like, absolutely. Just a couple of dudes being dudes.
Guys being guys.
Come
on.
Being pals.
Let's get out of here.
All right. Max, you drive your company all the way to Kiernan's studio.
Mm-hmm. I think out of
That's what the radio
habit, ever since the night with being invited and he saw those shadowy figures, he's always just been wary of seeing if there are shadowy figures even around him.
Please give me a wits and awareness.
Sure, I can do that. What is that for me? Wits and awareness. Oh, it's not bad. It's that. I got this dice roller for a fucking reason. Might as well use it.
The dice sour said no.
Yes, Dice Tower said no. That is. What is it? It's I got two of these.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Two big successes.
Hell yeah.
All right, nice.
And I get a regular success.
Okay, excellent. So that's a critical success. As you're looking in the rearview mirror and you're checking your surroundings as you're driving through, you definitely pick up on at least two of the figures jumping from rooftop to rooftop, trailing you at a fairly decent distance. But they make every turn that you make. They go down every side road that you go down. It's obvious they're trailing you.
Right.
You guys make it to Kiernan's apartment. Kiernan, please describe the building and the studio.
Sure. The building is like this very 80s, 90s. And up to the studio and full of life, and the others just. Oh no! Can you hear me?
Try again. Try speaking again.
I'm speaking again. I'm speaking again.
Yeah, it's going now. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. That's okay. The inside of the studio is just this big open space. You see a sofa, a TV, and a smattering of about 5 or 6 different canvases with various works in progress. Paint and materials are kind of spread across a large like work table that looks handmade, but it is a fairly open and like airy space. He walks over to a small, what looks to be like a kitchen you would see in like a inefficiency. Very small little counter space, and he grabs whiskey. He grabs a bottle of wine, and then he grabs a couple like low shelf beers. Take what you want. He opens the whiskey.
How many
Pours himself
open
a glass.
bottles were just like around the apartment?
I'm sorry, but we can't. Is this infused with blood?
No.
You realize that if we drink this, it would turn to ash in our mouths.
He drinks.
It's just the incredulous look of like, what?
That didn't turn to ash in your mouth.
Did it to Hillen?
So technically,
Yeah.
in this realm of vampires, you cannot eat or drink anything unless it has been infused with blood. Even then, it takes a very skilled kindred to not vomit up ash. You need to spend blood in order to keep what you've eaten down. If you're trying to masquerade around public, if you are at a political dinner or something like that, where it's very important, you would typically spend a blood point to keep the food down.
Got it. Let me double check something. I think I might have something for that.
I think that you do, if I'm not mistaken.
Iron gullet.
Yes.
No, it's not that.
No, it should be that, if I'm not mistaken.
You can feed on cold blood, rancid blood, and
Gnarly.
yeah, I thought I had something for that. I'm trying to find what that is. I apologize.
No, no worries.
Is it?
Page 182.
It's just like, I just love the imagery of like, just like Thorn is absolutely like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, this is the most powerful vampire I've ever seen in my life.
It's just like,
or he's making
Never mind.
a mockery of me.
Like he just drank ash and was okay with it. Like, like what?
What is he made of?
no, that's good. I thought I had something, but I might just be a dumbass. Would it be possible? Okay, since I'm a bagger, can I say that this is just in the bottle, but it is blood? It's like my collection.
Yeah, we can totally say that.
Okay.
I think that what I'm going to do also, just to allow it, is with your iron gullet, you do actually get to have one drink or one meal per week.
Okay, cool.
That does
Cool.
not turn to ash. So this will be
Makes sense.
your drink / meal for the week.
Okay, yeah. So he'll be drinking the whiskey, but he'll just say, this is blood, so go for it.
Mastering like the macabre of the whole social atmosphere and being a socialite in general, he fills up a cup and is just putting on the airs of like we're pretending like we're drinking. I'm like gesturing with glasses to paintings that he doesn't understand.
Max will pour blood in the whiskey and mix it.
I have brought my own. And
Okay.
from beneath Thorn's robe, he pulls a side satchel that looks to be made of exquisite leather.
gonna pour that in a glass, or we just?
Can I use your bathroom?
Yeah, sure. It's right down there.
Wonderful. Nothing suspicious.
The
Can I,
Febreze
like-
is under.
Can I
Febreze is
use
under the sink.
insight to determine if there's some sort of animal in that sack?
Yeah, please do. You can do a wits and insight.
We just see it move a little bit. Like, oh yeah, that's a thing in
And
there.
then
When a man asks to
hunger
use
dice.
the bathroom, I don't ask questions.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
So on the blood dice, on the hunger
Mhm.
dice, if you get one of these crit boys, like
That's a
double
bad
thing.
boy. Oh
That's
no,
not
that
good. No,
that's a
that's-
double thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
one.
that's a
That's a
Okay.
success. That one
So I have-
is
I
a
have-
critical success.
I have 2 critical successes and a regular success and 2 failures.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Are any of your hunger dice failures?
No, the hunger dice was the critical success.
Just
and
making
the-
sure. Okay. Let's see. Thorn, is there an animal inside of the leather satchel?
Define animal.
It had
Is
hobbies
there
and
a-
interests.
Is this a person?
Is there a four-legged possible mammal rodent within that bag?
Bird.
There is not.
Okay.
The fuck?
The fuck?
I don't like this.
Bro, I'm like listening for squeaks while I'm pretending to like look at this painting, and I'm like, there's something in that bag.
So Aubrey, since you rolled very well,
You fucking killed it.
you know
Okay.
that that bag does not hold what you may think it's holding. You can tell that the way that it moves, the way that it smells, something's off.
Give me this. Is the bag human leather?
Is Aubrey asking that, or are you asking that?
With the roll, would it be possible to know if the bag is a natural leather?
So you rolled and you said you wanted to figure out what was inside the bag.
That's fine then. Yeah.
And I mean, if you ask me, human leather would also just be natural leather.
Yeah,
It'd be
oh my
unconventional leather, but
Leather is leather.
It might be a vampire's type of leather, like
It's a defined animal for me.
it's a different sheet.
that's a
than
very
the
good
average.
I would have to say it'd be very difficult to make leather out of Kindred because you gotta sun the skin.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're like looking for it on the line, like, oh fuck Dash. Shit.
I had it here just yesterday.
This Etsy shop is never gonna work out. Kindred leather is not a thing.
All right,
Anyway,
Thorn, you go off into the
drain-
bathroom and you take
Go
care
drain
of
your
what you
bag.
He's going to. Shall I
You don't
just
have
be
to.
in the bath?
Yep, you're in the bathroom. That's it. That's all that we need to know. You're in the bathroom doing whatever it is that you are doing. Okay. The other three that are in the studio, what are you doing?
Okay. Welcome to my space. Happy to have you.
Tom is your first friend.
How do we feel about this Swamp Fest Garou meeting?
I mean, as long as we're keeping the peace, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Cure for the boredom, right, Max?
Yes. I mean, as long as war is terrible, but if it happens to go that way, hopefully we get alive to tell them that war is on. That's
I mean, I feel like maybe I can understand the sensibilities.
How do you know anything about wolves?
Not a fucking thing.
I had a dog once.
I don't think that's the same thing, pal.
It wasn't a very nice dog, and it also wasn't mine. So,
Oh.
yeah, you're probably
So
right. It wasn't the same thing.
You stole a dog?
There was a dog I fed.
Oh.
One of those. I mean, And just above table, we heard Thorn say that he had fought. Where like everybody heard that? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
correct. Yeah. Perfect.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make sure that above table we were all on the same page with that.
The way I see it, I've got a couple of beefy boys like you. I'll be doing just fine.
Okay. Well, just because we're here doesn't mean you don't put in work.
I do all the talking.
Well,
Some
but
say
You
I never
do.
stop.
hopefully,
Yeah.
if there happens to be more than words being said, do
It's
you have a weapon or?
a skill set that could be useful in combat, just in case.
I've got a great voice, I'm told.
I'm gonna take that as both innuendo and as secret keeping for politics reasons.
As I often say, you can take it any way you want, but we're gonna have a great time getting there.
There he goes talking again. Okay.
Yeah. It's lovely, I gotta say.
I'm-
It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
You're lovely.
You're an
Oh,
entertainer.
thank you.
That
Thank
much
you.
is clear.
Something about all these paintings, Baroque, I don't...
That one's expressionist. That one is abstract. I have a cubism piece that I'm probably just going to throw in the fucking trash. And that one's just a realism portrait.
Practice or sending these out?
The abstract's a personal work. The portrait is a commission. I make money that way sometimes.
Oh, nice. Might have to commission you for something.
Please enjoy the work. Okay, so I mean, Max, it's apparent that you're a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability. You got the look.
Well, thank you. I try. I've never fought a wolf before, but
Neither
I'm
have I.
always down for another challenge. And if they're as challenging as we've heard, then
yeah. Well, it seems to make sense that we go in hoping to talk.
mm-hmm.
Fights happen, but
we don't want that.
we don't want that.
If fights do happen, we have to make sure not to spill any blood.
Yep.
I feel like no matter what happens, we're gonna get blamed for the fight, whether we cause it or not, so don't be provoked.
It also just seemed like the prince was putting us in a very auspicious position.
But why us?
We volunteered.
We
Could've been anyone,
volunteered, and it seems like, but that's what I'm saying. This is just, I don't know. This is all brand fucking new to me, so I don't know what's fishy. I don't know what's genuine. Everything is
Well,
fishy to me right now. Yeah.
If this used to be the prince's work and he's bored with it, then that means something must not happen. So let's keep hoping it's boring.
I'm stuck with wondering why that sheriff ran away.
If he ran away.
If he ran away.
I'm not one to quickly believe he just up and left. That's a high position of power. One that not many like us would probably want to give up. Just to fuck off and run. Doesn't make any sense.
I will say this though. Whoever's interested in the prince's business is also following us.
We got
As we
trailed
go.
here?
We did.
Fuck. I live here.
They know. Trust me. They know my business is. They know where your business is.
The night lady's really nice.
I'm sure she.
A lock on his front door. Can I go over and just like put the little chain lock on now, in addition to like the normal lock?
And I think he's like putting his like mouth to the glass, and he's just like, I saw them following our dear sheriff before when I got my invitation.
Okay.
So I assume.
I saw shadowy figures as well.
I assume they work for the prince. Just to make sure things are up and up.
Real
And
quick.
We have,
Sorry, real quick. Thorn, how long are you spending in the bathroom?
Just a minute, and when he comes out, there's blood on the corner of his mouth that he's wiping off and sucking off his thumb.
Okay. You come in just as the rest of the group is talking about the shadow figures following in. So I'm sorry. Continue your conversation, gentlemen.
No, you're good.
I want to make sure that Thorn was in the room when this happened.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you. And I think it just continues like I assume they work for the prince. So
That's the assumption, right? It seems anybody with that sleuthing ability is probably on the prince's good side.
I mean that quick.
Are you talking about the skulkers?
The shadow men?
The skulkers.
Sure, then I'm talking about the skulkers.
Wow, what's up? You know something?
Perhaps we are being watched right now.
Oh, we are.
Maybe. Yes, and perhaps even listened to. Is there a window in your house?
They're like two big ones.
And he'll stand in front of the window and just stare out. We'll always be watched.
Right.
I mean, we are handling the prince's business.
It is uncomfortable. Who would have ever thought what that would feel like? People follow you wherever you go. And he looks out the window and he sees way off in the distance a billboard of himself. It's like, it's a curse, really.
You sound like
All
you
my-
enjoy that curse.
All my
It is.
sins. All my sins.
It is.
Well,
But Thorn, like, is staring, if the billboard is there. He's staring at it and he's just nodding in agreement. It is. It certainly is.
But, and in an excited tone, he runs over and sits on the couch and spreads out. When you're followed everywhere you go, boys, you get really good at throwing a tail. So when you let me know when you need to get somewhere, I can figure it out for us all.
well, we got 2 days.
And we're gonna hold up in this wonderful abode till then, with all this majesty and the art.
Don't shit on my place.
I was going to shit on your art. What in
people,
God's name?
These are my
happened here?
personal works. Shut up. Close your mouth.
What's wrong with your hands?
You're in
think
my.
that an accent means that you're being rude. I was being the kindest I could ever be.
What's wrong with my hands?
Your hands. Do I see visible scars on your hands?
Oh yeah.
Your hands. Oh, you poor thing. And Thorn will come over to delicately slide his hands around you. Poor, poor thing. I bet you valued these, didn't you?
Still do. I'm pretty good. Taste is subjective.
I agree. I didn't mean to call your work shit. It's not. I love it.
You're allowed to think it's shit if you think it's shit. This was a remnant of my humanity. Drunk driver.
Well,
Crush it.
hold on to that. Hold on to your humanity for as long as possible. One day it just might not be there anymore. Ah! And he
Feels like a
slaps your
threat.
hands.
Well,
That wasn't a threat.
if you guys, I imagine you all have places to go. If you don't, feel free to stay here. It does get lonely, but
I mean, I do have a business to run, as much as I love.
what do you do?
taking- Oh, I'm a manager of a boxing gym.
Oh, I might have to come spar.
Oh, I would love to see you come spar. If you want to spar me, that's.
No, you terrify me.
But if you want to spar some of my boys, then that's fine too.
I'm sure we could have a playful little match.
Oh, they would love it. They love proving themselves.
I don't have anywhere to be for quite some time and nowhere to go. He's got like a nice, probably lavish, like hotel room picked out by the record label, and he's like gonna do everything he can to avoid being there.
So have any of you... Excuse me, but have any of you ever come face to face with a Garou?
No.
No.
I don't even know him.
I was actually curious about your encounter. Might help us if we need to.
What would you like to know?
I mean, what do you want to share?
Whatever it is that you're thinking of, just say it.
I mean, okay. How did you come in contact with the?
Kiernan pours more blood drinks for everybody.
We're gonna need more of this.
If this is story time, I would love
Yeah.
to hear how.
There are more than just Garou in this world that go bump in the night. I've seen ghosts and mages.
I heard about those. They're bad. Sorry.
I've seen someone proclaim himself a god. Many organizations in this world are not for the Camarilla, for order, for structure. I abhor it, but that is the way of things here. The Black Spirals are abominations of the Garou. They are the only clan within the Garou who have turned to the wolf, to the worm, rather. They are monstrosities, malformed, a little bit mad. Garou will have their own mind, and Black Spirals run in a hive. They're perhaps far more dangerous than Garou. Garou have intellect. I hate to say it, they do. They have some intellect. It does not please me to say it, but they do. I ran across a few with my last coterie.
Is that what
That's all.
happened to them?
That's what happened to them, what?
Your coterie.
No. I abandoned them. I left them to rot. I packed my bags and I said goodbye.
Something about the way you lie. So attractive.
No, that wasn't a lie. That was the truth.
If you say so.
Well, as someone who fights, who fought for a living, it's good to know what exactly I would be fighting if we did happen to.
Could you possibly take your hand and punch it through a solid meat body? Could you punch it through me if you desired?
Well, I don't desire, but maybe. I've never really tried to punch through somebody.
Well, conflict is not what we're trying to do here.
Of course not.
But if it comes to it and they strike the first blow, snap their fucking spines. Make their heads into a fucking human Garou Pez machine. And run. Run as fast as you possibly can. No, you know what? No. Don't fight them. Just fucking run. If they try to attack you, they will probably attack in a pack. Just fucking run if one of them strikes you. Just run. Don't be a hero. Just fucking run.
It's honest advice. Take it. Thank you. There are times where you have to run, times you get to fight. It's good to know when, which is which. So let's hope none of us get hit and have to run.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we should really. And I suppose I apologize for my outburst before at the prince's place. I'll be sure to take a step back when we're meeting the Garou, just to try and avoid that. Out of temper.
Oh no, I like it. No, have a temper, but just not in the prince's presence.
It might serve us well on this journey. Little bit of the beast in you.
Someone who listens to their beast quite often, I think being able to use your rage for later endeavors when you're in danger, that's when it's most prevalent. But you did not scare me, but you worried me back at the Quincy's house.
Apologize for that.
Oh.
While we're here, how about you all go around and tell me a little about your past, what brings you here, a little about yourself, your favorite color.
You like information, don't you, Thorn?
Such a
we
great.
had this
That
conversation
excites
before.
me.
How about this? You give us something about yourself, and then we reciprocate in kind.
Return in kind, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Sticking the same thing.
Exactly.
Max.
Like, for instance, if you said favorite color, my favorite color is purple. Yours?
I like red, rose red.
It's a good color. Good flower.
Very good flower.
Candy?
Hell,
I like a hunter green.
That's a good color.
Deep rich. Yeah, it's nice.
Aubrey?
Men with bloodshot eyes.
Classic. See? Look at that. We all learn at the same time.
Ooh, I got one.
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
no.
please.
All right.
Yes.
Share.
When you were alive,
Mhm.
what was your favorite meal? My parents and I used to make this lasagna that was just delicious, and I walked past the mom and pop Italian shop downtown at night sometimes, and I get a whiff of what they're cooking, and I fucking wish I could have it.
Takes you back there.
Yeah.
Max, what about you?
Oh, man. When I was first adopted by Angelo, taken off the streets, I had no idea he was a vampire. But he just took this random homeless kid and he brought him into his home, and he made this gumbo. Just threw a bunch of shit in a pot and let it stew and let it cook. And me, I thought that was a waste. That's so much, so many meals, that you could cook up. But just seeing the luxury of that meal, I didn't want anything else. It's my favorite meal. Had it, tried to have it at least every day until Angela stopped making it. And told me it was getting a little expensive.
Go on.
Wait.
chicken bones.
Just the bones.
No, not just the bones. If you snap it in half, you could suck the insides of it. You know how much nourishment chicken bone has?
Oh yeah, keep you alive a couple days. Yeah, definitely.
You'd be alive a lot longer than that. Oh, that's delicious. When you just suck the end of it and you crack it open and you see Thorn's hands shaking. It's the most exquisite thing that one could ever taste. It's so good.
Aubrey makes an uncomfortable mental note of this. Uncomfortable for me, not for Aubrey.
So what's yours, Aubrey? My dear.
All the same thing everybody likes. What is it like in America? Pizza, apple pie, and all that. It's all good. I love it all.
Oh, come on, you gotta have a favorite. There's gotta be a favorite.
He stares off into the middle distance, really at no one for a minute, and allows him to go somewhere in his head. Allows himself this brief moment of remembering a time when he could eat, when he was so hungry and he needed to eat. when eating to survive was what he was doing before. The only thing that changed was blood for food. He never really had a lot of anything. He never really possessed as much as he possesses now, and now he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to try and find food. But there was this moment, and it formulates in his mind, and it spills out over his lips almost accidentally. He remembers Cheryl and Lewis. Lewis and I was a boy, and we played this game where he'd chase me off. Where every night I'd go and I'd stay in the alley by their house. I was just a boy, and I'd smell Cheryl's cooking, his wife. Old couple, wonderful people. New York City. And he'd chase me off. Get out of here, kid! But when he'd go to bed at night, his wife would let me in. It wasn't warm. She wouldn't cook it. She wouldn't turn on the oven. Wouldn't bother with the microwave. Cold pot pie straight from the fridge. You'd eat it on a porch out of the tin. Those were the good days.
I like that, the good days. What was your favorite memory being alive?
Just as you asked that question, an alarm clock in Kiernan's studio starts sounding.
It runs and hits it if possible.
Yep. Kieran, you know this is the alarm clock letting you know that there's 1 hour left of the evening before sun starts to creep over and through your giant windows.
Yeah, I imagine he's got these big blackout curtains.
Of course.
He just preemptively puts those over. Well, we only got an hour, so it looks like you guys are staying here.
Oh, I don't know if I can't stay here. I have business to attend to at my home.
Can you make it in an hour?
Can I make it in an hour? Can I make it in an hour?
Technically, you just need to get to a sewer.
He's not going to the sewers.
Oh, you're going home. Excuse me, you're going home. No, you would not be able to make it in an hour at this point in time.
All right. I shall stay here on one condition. Kieran.
Yep.
You promise me hospitality, and that no one will encroach upon my person or my things while I'm here.
Absolutely. You're in my space. You deserve respect. Max, don't touch his shit. Aubrey, don't touch his shit.
Gotcha.
Not until last.
Shit. Will remain untouched.
Thorn, if you want the bedroom, it's yours. There's a lockbox where you can put your things if needed.
I will sleep with my things. Good night. And he just walks straight past you and slams the door.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That was, I mean, sure. Favorite memory. We didn't get Thorns, but I'd still like to hear yours.
Getting, let's see. I think my favorite memory was, getting that, Olympic letter of recognition, being chosen for Team America. I'd never been so happy. I'd never seen my old man happy. That happy.
Yeah. That's incredible. Aubrey?
And he's still, like, allowing himself this moment of humanity, and he forgets that he's in a room with people, and he looks up and he's like, oh, is it time to turn in already?
If you're tired, we were just talking about our favorite memory from when we were alive.
I'd love to hear yours.
You don't have to share if you don't want to.
No pressure.
None at all.
Oh, I'm far more interested in you than hearing my tired tales.
Well, I know nothing about you.
Exactly.
About me?
No, yeah.
What's to say that's not on the radio?
Oh, come on now. All this time talking this all evening. Now you gonna stop?
Interesting.
Come
When you-
on.
Come on,
when you
give
talk
us
about-
one.
Give us
When you talk
one.
about nonsense, no one asks you about the hot stuff, but
Give us one, man.
Give us
here's to the
one.
hot stuff, and he raises the glass like he's gonna drink it, and then he sets it back down. He's like,
Right.
I loved everything about it. Every memory was a good one. When you're a kid, you don't know sleeping in the backstage of a concert hall is a bad thing. You don't know crashing out on the couch of a bass player that your mother's seeing is a bad thing. These are all adventures. And I like remembering them as adventures. Every memory when she was around was a good one. Well, and he pulls a flask from his boot and he uncorks it and it's, takes a draw off it and he raises it to the billboard and he's like, look at me now, Mom. And he rolls his eyes. Your little boy's all grown up.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for the hospitality.
Sure. I moved around a lot. Dad was an engineer, still is, at least from what I know. And we had taken a trip up in Wisconsin, a camping trip. I had never seen my parents at such peace. I was, I don't know, 14. It was the dead of night. We're just sitting around a fire and just making s'mores. That was when I found out what love was. Just the way that my parents looked at each other, talked about each other, the fleeting glances. That's my favorite. It's just sitting there and watching the two people that brought me into the world love one another.
Finding love.
No, that's a painting.
To being lovable.
Oh, you're plenty lovable.
On that note, we're going to stop tonight's episode.
Woo!
Great.
That was
Thank you, guys.
that was. We're gonna talk about that afterwards a little bit, my friends. All right. So,
deep.
everyone, thank you very much for joining us for this week's episode of Darkness Over New Orleans. A very emotional episode.
Yeah.
Very, very wonderful role play tonight, everyone. Wonderful role play. Again, please come back next week to join us again. We did post everyone's socials on the chat so you can find everyone, their link trees and all their social medias and whatnot. I posted the Discord for my personal server where we still chat about things throughout the week. You can also see the other games that I host there. By all means, we look really forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for letting us entertain you for the last 2 hours. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Good night.